So, what if I told you there's an ancient operating system for the human mind? One that can make you mentally unbreakable, even in the chaos of modern life. Well, in this explainer, we're diving into the brutal but incredibly powerful Stoic laws that are designed to do just that.
You know that feeling, right? A kind of quiet defeat. We scroll, we compare, we're always chasing the next thing, and yet we just feel stuck. We're surrounded by more comfort and convenience than ever before, but we feel exhausted and fragile. We're going to get to the heart of why this happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
And here's the core of the problem, the great paradox of our time. The constant hunt for comfort is actually killing our strength. We're wired to avoid pain and seek ease, but in doing that, we're slowly but surely chipping away at our own resilience. We're becoming soft when life demands that we be strong.
But there's a twist. Thousands of years ago, long before any of our modern distractions, the Stoics diagnosed this exact problem, and they developed a battle-tested philosophy not to make life easy, but to make you unstoppable within it. And let me be clear, this isn't just inspirational fluff. This is a weapon for your mind.
Okay, so first we have to really understand the trap that we're in. It's this cycle of looking outside of ourselves for approval and for comfort, which ironically just leaves us feeling totally powerless.
And this quote from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, it perfectly captures the way out. This right here is the foundation for everything we're about to cover. See, the Stoics knew that real strength isn't about controlling the world around you. It's about controlling the world within you.
This huge idea leads us right to the first set of laws, which are all about mastering your own mind, your perceptions, your emotions, and where you put your focus.
This slide shows a really crucial distinction, the difference between reacting and responding. A reaction, that's automatic, it's emotional, almost like a reflex. But a response is chosen. The Stoic teacher Epictetus, who was a former slave, said, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." Just think about that. When you snap at a rude comment, you're literally handing over your peace of mind. The master of self, though, they feel that spark of anger, they observe it, and then they choose how to act. That, my friends, is real power.
This brings us to what might just be the most practical tool in all of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. So much of our anxiety comes from trying to manage things on the right side of this chart. But you know what? The Stoic wastes zero energy there. All of their focus goes to the left side, their own thoughts, choices, and actions. You can't control the traffic, but you can always control your response to it. Making that mental shift is what builds an absolutely unshakable core.
All right, here's a brutal truth that is so incredibly freeing once you really accept it. The universe does not operate on a system of fairness. It just doesn't. Good people suffer, and sometimes lazy people succeed. Waiting around for life to be fair is just a recipe for bitterness. The key is to stop demanding fairness from the world and start building strength within yourself so you can handle reality as it actually is.
And this right here is the payoff. When you truly let go of what you can't control, what other people think, the final outcome of your efforts, this whole idea of fairness, you find freedom. You start to fall in love with the process, with your own effort, because that is always, always yours to command. You win just by showing up and doing your best with integrity.
Mastering your mind is step one, but Stoicism isn't just about thinking, it's about doing. So now we're going to explore the active practices that forge an unbreakable will. This is where the philosophy really meets action.
The Stoics were big believers in training for hardship before it arrives. The philosopher Seneca, for example, would intentionally eat plain food or sleep on the floor. He wasn't doing it to punish himself, but to train his mind. He was basically asking, is this the thing I was so afraid of? By choosing small, voluntary discomforts, you're basically giving yourself a vaccine against life's inevitable chaos. When the real storm hits, you're not shocked, you're ready.
Now, this might sound a little morbid, but for the Stoics, it was the ultimate tool for focus. Memento mori isn't about fearing death, it's about using the reality of death to bring urgency and meaning to your life. When you remember that your time here is finite, you stop wasting it on things that just don't matter. And this quote just puts it in the starkest terms possible. If you knew this was your last day, would you spend it endlessly scrolling, arguing over petty things, procrastinating on your biggest dreams? Of course not. This single thought just cuts through all the noise and forces you to live with intention, right here, right now.
This final law is all about calibrating your inner compass. You know, in a world that is obsessed with likes, followers, and external validation, the Stoic lives for virtue. This means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's about building a character so strong that it doesn't need applause to know its own worth. It's about deep, unshakable integrity.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, and we've explored the cure. Now let's bring it all together and map out the path from a fragile mindset to a forged one.
This is the blueprint. It all starts inside, with mastering your mind and focusing only on what you can control. Then, you forge that mindset in the real world through deliberate training and purpose-driven action. Each of these principles builds on the last to create a foundation that cannot be easily shaken.
And that's the ultimate takeaway. This isn't something you're born with. It's not something you can just stumble upon by accident. It's built, day by day, through conscious choices and deliberate practice. It is forged in the fires of discomfort and discipline.
So I'll leave you with this question. Forget tomorrow, forget next week. What is one small, hard choice you can make today to start forging your own unbreakable mind? Whether it's taking that cold shower, having a difficult conversation, or simply choosing to respond instead of react, the training begins right now.